No, no, Dave, that doesn't count. No, 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 no. That doesn't count. You either have to say the words or we're now in late night purgatory where we will remain here for hours on end until someone says the words, and then we can be freed for our souls to reach Yggdrasil. Guys, welcome back for the other Monday night edition of the It's Too Late community live stream. I am your host, Alan Mosley, joined by nobody right now, but hopefully we'll fix that ASAP. If you are hearing my voice and you want to hop on the community stream to chat about whatever's going on in your world and help us wish Mary Lynn Wilimowski a happy birthday, then you are welcome to do so. By you, I mean Ryan, because I think he's the only one that said he was coming. I hope everybody's had a good start to the week. I certainly have. I've been texting our good friends Dave and Mary throughout the day to keep them up to speed on my diet and routine. So I had my breakfast of 2 strips of cheese and a hard-boiled egg, and then nothing else. And then I had my dinner of 1 burger patty with some bacon and a piece of cheese, and that's it. I'm gonna reach my goal. God damn it, one way or another. Even if I have to do the Doc Owl diet, we're gonna. I'm gonna eat pizza here in a few minutes. Well, I swear to God, Aaron, that's that's what we have to say about that. Uh, yeah. So anyway, moving on to our usual routine. Did you guys know? Look at the date on the calendar. It's April 4th. We are exactly, don't be alarmed, we are exactly 2 months away from the 4th annual It's Too Late live show, hosted by yours truly, as well as Dave and Mary of Liberty Late Night at the private Bon Aqua Computer Club. That's here in Bon Aqua, Tennessee. It's just south of Nashville. But you got to get your tickets. You got to go to the Eventbrite link. Aaron, I'm gonna copy that from you since I know you're on Twitch, and I'm gonna share it again so that it's on all platforms. You got to get your tickets by going to the Eventbrite link right there. We're gonna have a ton of food. There's gonna be our traditional dessert bar. We're gonna have live music and entertainment, and then there's gonna be a taping of It's Too Late in front of the live studio audience. It's gonna be great. Dave's gonna do the 3 chip challenge where he eats 3 of the chips back to back to back with no hydration. It's gonna be so much fun. You can't miss it. You got to be there. So anyway, yeah. What else do we got to do, Dave? Oh yeah, for the people who aren't on Twitch, consider giving a follow and a subscription to our Twitch page. It's twitch.tv/Alan_Mosley. Actually, you know what? I don't even have the donations and stuff up here. What am I doing? Our donations are going down again because people's monthly donations have expired, or monthly subs on Twitch have expired, and they haven't been back. So we got to get them numbers up. Them's right there are rookie numbers. We got to get them up. That's the money I'm going to use to put together this retarded event in June. Yeah. Aaron says, I think my parents are going to order from Pat Crest Botanicals. I let them each have a gunny. Speaking of that, guys, our sponsor for tonight's show is Pack Crest Botanicals. Get out of here, browser. That you can get at www.packcrestbotanicals.com. If you use promo code It's Too Late, all one word, It's Too Late, you get 30% off. 30% off your order at packcrestbotanicals.com, promo code It's Too Late. They really are fantastic, by the way. I've enjoyed their products immensely. Aaron, I'm going to do the same thing I did before, and I'm copying your work so that it'll go everywhere else. I've heard nothing but rave reviews from everybody that has had a chance to try some CBD or some gummies, some Delta 8 perhaps, help you in the night times like I do. You get it at packcrestbotanicals.com. Well, all right then. Well, I guess that's all that's all we have. So, guess what? We have another guest for this week's episode of It's Too Late with Alan Mosley. That's coming to you Wednesday night at 9 o'clock Eastern Time. The official legal expert of It's Too Late, Suzanne Sherman, is going to be back with us, but not to talk about anything law or politics related. She's going to be on as the Red Hot Chili Prepper to talk about prepping, survival strategies, and about her new book series on exactly that subject. That, believe it or not, guys, right now, her first installment of her survivalist series is currently #1 in its category on Amazon. How about that? Currently #1 in its category on Amazon. And Narco Zero resubscribed with Prime. They've been subscribed for 3 months. Who says, "Happy birthday, Mary!" Exclamation! Exclamation! Everybody's in on it. Please, comma, resubscribes. They've been subscribed for 3 months. But please, comma didn't say happy birthday. It was that one. The first one was for you. The second one was for me. All right. It's just how it is. But that means we got to go over here and update the donation tracker. Look how quick that happens. It's amazing. I can't believe it. So there you go. Now we're back in the 20s. We get 5 more. We'll unlock a new emote slot. Just got here, please, comma. Well, I'm glad you're here. Thanks for joining us. Wabi Sabi says, "I was pleasantly surprised with the Delta 8. I smoked the normal stuff a ton, so I wasn't expecting much, but I definitely gotta keep some on hand for travel to less friendly states." That's awesome. My Twitch is telling me that we're on the cusp of a hype train. We've got 3 minutes and some change to unlock a hype train. And then during the hype train, what happens is you get on Twitch. It's twitch.tv/Alan_Mosley. And then you give me all your money and you subscribe to the channel at tier 3. And then I'll thank you. It's really exciting. You should do it. Jamie Paul says, "Happy birthday to Mary." Happy birthday, Mary. Everybody's wishing Mary a happy birthday. Especially Dave, who is taking the night off to celebrate Mary's latest rotation around the sun. Oh man, the Delta 8 messed with yesterday. I couldn't figure out how to watch Liberty late night movies. I think that, so Float's terrible and it's going to be gone in like 6 months or less. So then they'll be looking for a different place to do their movies. But last night they had their movies on a alt on Twitch and it was great. And I haven't heard that they got banned yet. Are you guys all right? Like, did your alt get banned or did y'all just watch a whole movie on there and have no problems at all? It's very interesting. You forgot how to read a clock. Well, that's too bad. Oh, you pretty sure it's still there. Well, that's cool. That's interesting news. We'll have to keep that in mind. I haven't had any problems with Twitch so far. Nightmare says, "I'm on Twitch right now, so I'm sorry if I miss any messages on other platforms. I'm sure Alan will read them to me here." Correct. Alan will. Actually, what we're waiting on is we got 2 minutes left to unlock that hype train. So we need everybody to get in here and start tossing their subscriptions and their bits to the channel so we can do that hype train. But what we also have to do is we have to get some guests to come on the show to talk about whatever's on their mind. And by that, I mean talk about Mary. So if you are interested in coming on the It's Too Late community live stream, just give me a buzz right here in chat. We will get you set up on Skype or whatever, and we'll have you join the show. But until then, I'm just going to keep blabbering because that's what I do best. Let's see here. Yeah, nobody yet. I have so many ideas for guests, but I don't want to be a pain. Are you talking about like guests on It's Too Late? Like the actual flagship program? I have an email draft typed up and everything. Well, okay, so here's the thing about having guests on the big show is, yeah. So the thing is that it's not for everybody. And it's certainly not, it's not us, it's them. It's certainly not the show's fault. It's them being terrible. But it's not for everybody. And what I mean by that is that, we like to have fun. We like to keep things relatively lax. We film and record and stream this program exactly as if it were live television, as if it were a TV late night talk show, exactly like the Tonight Show, the Late Show, whatever. And as you may be surprised to learn, some people, that's not really for them. Some people struggle a little bit under the bright lights, if you will, whereas other people really, really enjoy the experience because they're so used to going on stuffy academic podcasts where they talk about the same old crap week in and week out. Um, so they get to kind of let their hair down a little bit when they come on It's Too Late. And I really appreciate that. I appreciate their time. And I appreciate affording them the opportunity to kind of speak up and enjoy themselves without being asked the same questions that they hear everywhere else. Of course, last week we had Scott Horton, which was awesome. Fantastic show. Couldn't be happier. Scott, awesome guy. That was actually his third appearance on the show, but the first one in a while, and had a great time. We do have some more guests currently lined up for the future. But again, it's kind of, it's kind of tongue in cheek, making sure that we find guests that are both people that I like personally, that I genuinely want to have a conversation with and have build that rapport with, but also people that this is a good fit for them, that that a late night show is something that they can swing as opposed to kind of being blindsided by it. Speaking of that, please, what are some ideas? You said that you had so many ideas for guests. Give me some examples of some of the ideas that you have for guests. Um, yeah. Wabi Sabi says, I usually just aim high and send emails. Most of them never respond, but 1 out of 10, you get a reply. I mean, we've had fantastic success getting guests on the show. I mean, there's been basically next to no one that I've reached out to that has not eventually appeared on the program in some capacity or another. I mean, when you get to the point where you have like Ron Paul on the show, then it's like, whatever. We'll get the guests we want to get. Gene Epstein's already been on the program in Arco Zero. He's been on the show before. He's only been on once, but he was on the show, and then we spent half of that interview talking about The Sopranos. So that's how that went. Um, Dave, are you all right, buddy? Everything, everything going okay? All right. So anyway, yeah. On the old show, on the Gold Standard, we had Gene Epstein. We had Gene Epstein and Walter Block in back-to-back weeks, so that was quite an adventure. Walter's actually been back with us since then. I should have Gene come back, but same kind of philosophy applies. That he's a great guy. I really enjoyed talking to him before, but if I was going to have him back, it would have to be to discuss different things, and for him to not be weirded out by this retarded show that we have. Um, Dave, I don't know what's going on over there, buddy. So I'm just going to give you a Keck W. Um, so anyway, still no takers, huh? Still no takers to come on the show and personally wish Mary a happy birthday. Uh, Dave and Mary don't have those credentials, though. You just gotta convince people they're cool and they should do the show. I mean, Dave and Mary have had a lot of people on their show, so it's. I think that speaks for itself. Where the F is Ryan is the right thing. Aaron says pizza here. God damn it. Yeah. Would you be interested in talking to some folks who talk about Southern topics? There's people like Dissident Mama, who I think is super interesting. Only if they have their real identity. I don't know who Dissident Mama is, but that can't be what they go by. Real identity or bust. I don't respect people that hide behind avatars and pseudonyms. So, we've actually talked about the Battle of Athens already on the show. That's something we had discussed on the old show back when we used to do about once a month. We would have a history specific episode. I think we already talked about that. I mean, we could talk about it again. There's nothing that says we can't discuss it again, but that's not really a late night show topic. Um, we could do that on one of our Thursday night shows, though. Oh, there he is. Oh, hi, gang. Hi, Ryan. Uh, everybody's been waiting on you, buddy. We're waiting on you to join the show. Um, so yeah, I actually have my own special birthday greeting for Mary, but I'm holding on to that until we've run out of other things to say and do. Happy birthday, Mary, in all caps with tons of exclamation marks from Swole Keesley. Kapow, says Dave. Dave's kind of he's not a boomer, but he's boomer adjacent. That's what you are when you use the default emotes. Thanks for saving the good jokes until I got here. Well, it's not going to be a joke. I told Mary that I would sing her a song for her birthday, and then she was instructed to then choose a song, and then she chose a song, and then I decided it kind of sucked, so I asked her to choose again, and she chose a different song. So we're gonna do that before we sign off here, or before Mary gives up and goes to bed. We'll do a song. In the meantime, God, does it feel like we've already been on for 23 minutes? Like, isn't that kind of wild? Anyway, there's Dave with a Dorito. Dave Arito. Yeah. Mary says, "My kids keep talking at me." That's a damn shame. You hate to see it. Why even have kids if they can't just only speak when spoken to? So anyway, the chat's already devolving to the point where people just leave completely unconnected comments in emojis. That's kind of where we're at already tonight. God, it's been almost a month since we've gotten a donation on our PayPal or a new Patreon sub, which is really bad. That's really bad. Swole Keesley says, "For Mary's birthday, I won't make any super gross jokes." Well, thanks, Ryan. That's nice of you. I love them. They're just intense right now. Is there a bot? The only first time viewer we get in the fucking show is a bot. All right, well, they're banned. Goodbye forever. If Aaron wasn't stuffing his face with pizza, he would have caught it, but I have to do it myself since he's torturing me with his fancy pizza dinner. I think the donations are more likely to come in on the main show than the community stream. Actually, you know what? I don't think we've ever received a donation during the main show, no matter who was the guest or what we did. They might have come after the fact, but not during the live show. We've gotten way more live donations during the community streams, believe it or not. I went to band, but I'm one-handed. Oh, you got Mary a dozen Krispy Kreme today. That's awfully nice of you, Dave. And that's awfully nice that Mary's going to get to have all dozen, unless she shares a few with the kids, right? Since you're not going to have any. You know? You know? You know? Okay, good job. I didn't touch them. That's the spirit. All right, well. Oh, you had to share. Well, Mama's too nice. That's why. Don't act like you're not used to using a computer with one hand. I don't know what you're talking about. It's all hands on deck over here, ladies and gentlemen. Now Jane's crying at me. Well, what did you do wrong? That's the real question. How have you failed her? Dave should put the kids to bed for me tonight. You know what? I think he should. He's not doing anything important. Ryan's calling Dave out. He says he doesn't believe Dave didn't need a donut. Let me count the ways. Yep. Well, we're still waiting on somebody to join the show. If we don't get someone to join the show by the 30-minute mark, I'm just leaving. I'm just signing off. We've gotten 0 donations, 2 Twitch subs, some interesting chat, but we haven't really gotten any big topics suggested to discuss, and no one has volunteered to come on the show. Swole Keesley says, I'll join. Well, I didn't see you. I didn't see you when I looked earlier. You gotta, you know the drill. You gotta get on that there Skype so I can add you to the show. You know how it is. Oh man. That's not good, by the way. I'm yawning so hard at 8:30 my time. Talk about the food shortages Biden announced. I'm not convinced that that's actually a thing, and that might just be fear mongering that he was doing. There's definitely going to be food shortages for people in other parts of the world. I don't know if there'll be food shortages in the continental U.S. Dang it, Alan, I would join the show and tell my wild story about yesterday, but I have no video, and I also hate my voice. What do you mean you're wild? You've got a wild story, and you have a whole bunch of suggestions for guests for the show. I heard the one. You got to give me more than one. Keep them coming, because I'm open to talking to different people as long as I am interested in what they have to say. Yeah. So. Oh, Liberty Late Night cheered 100 bits. Thank you very much, Liberty Late Night. You know what? It's okay, Liberty Late Night. There you go. That's for you. Oh, we've got another ad starting here in a little bit. Mary, after you get through the next ad, or hopefully, I don't know if ads are playing for you. Hopefully they're not. I mean, if you're subscribed, you shouldn't be getting ads. But if as long as you're not getting an ad, then we'll do your song for you. I bought my daughter a gift in September. It is still sitting in a warehouse in Oakland. Good God. The hell? Well, shit, man. Ugh. Yeah, so I think that there will be food shortages in places that are far more dependent on Russian energy and fertilizer for their food. If we're seeing serious issues here domestically, it's way less because of the Russia invasion, and it's way more because of, as someone mentioned earlier, lasting supply chain issues resulting from the lockdowns and whatnot. And that's another thing too, by the way, about I'm subbed through our Prime, but it's on Dave's account. I'm sorry. Damn it, Dave. I joined Skype. Okay. So Mary, my thing says that over here that it says that an ad's going to start in 1 minute and 6 seconds. So this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to snooze that ad, assuming you don't have an ad playing right now, and we're going to do your song. And then when the song's over, we're going to bring on Ryan. All right, let's see. Actually, the timer is almost over. No ad right now. When it pops up and says that an ad's playing on my end, I'm going to see if you've got an ad, and then because I don't want to start the song and then you miss the song and then me be like, all right, we're done. See you later. I'd feel at least a little bad. So Ryan, hold on just a second. We're going to bring you on. Got to hydrate a little bit. I just told my kids to be quiet. Does that actually work though? All right. My thing says that it's going to play an ad in 3, 2, 1, And now it says ad starting soon. And Argo Zero has some random guest ideas. That's cool. Yeah, I'm all about it. I'm all about guest ideas, guys. At a bare minimum, shout out an idea, and if I like it, we'll reach out to them. Worst case scenario, I hate it, and I'll tell you why. All right. Well, my thing says ad starting soon, but it doesn't actually say it's playing an ad right now, but the countdown timer went away. I just want to make absolutely certain that Mary gets her song, and then we're moving on. Because it won't let me, it will no longer allow me to snooze it or anything, so I'm just going to wait until this proverbial ad stops playing. I mean, theoretically, if you're subbed to the channel, you shouldn't be seeing an ad. But for people who aren't subbed, they get ads. And for some reason, Dave is subbed, but he still gets ads. Now it says ad in progress, 27 seconds. Oh, Justin from Fact Check This Podcast is here. Hey, Justin. Justin says, good evening. Justin, I'm about to sing a song for Mary because it's her birthday, and then we're going to bring on Ryan, and then we're going to shoot the shit until I go to bed or until I hang up. Alan, pitch your episode on Liberty Weekly. I'll be out tomorrow as soon as I get home from work and finish posting everything. Yeah, I'm on Liberty Weekly this week, I think. Talking to our friend Patrick McFarlane, who's been on this program. He invited me on his show, Liberty Weekly, and it was great. We had a great time. Patrick and I are very like-minded folks, and so it's always great to talk to him. All right. Dissident Mommy uses her real name and picture on her blog. Okay, that's good. That's better then. All right. Let me see if I can fire this up here. Because I got to turn on the desktop audio so that you guys can hear the song, and then I have to remember to turn it off so that we don't get a bunch of echo. Got a really good clip from that one that I'll put out later in the week as well. It has to be a really good clip of Patrick saying something, because if it's me, it's just blah. If it's me talking. All right. Let me know if you guys can hear this music, because we're doing this, we're doing it, and that's it. It's over. Can you guys hear? Okay, you can hear the music, so we're gonna start over. All right. Let's drink a little bit. I would have preferred to have played this myself on guitar, but I need time to actually prepare to do that with my GIMP hand, and I don't have time to do that. So we're going to use the backtracks. L is for the way you look at me. O is for the only one I see. V is very, very extraordinary. E is even more than anyone that you adore. And love is all that I can give to you. Love is more than just a game for two. Two in love can make it. Take my heart and please don't break it. Love was made for me and you. I mean, you guys could do karaoke as well if you want. L is for the way you look at me. O is for the only one I see. B is very, very extraordinary. E is even more than anyone that you adore. And love is all that I can give to you. Love is more than just a game for two. Two in love can make it. Take my heart and please don't break it. Love was made for me and you. I said love was made for me and you. I said love was made for me and you. All right, there you go. Happy birthday, Mary. So glad you're here. So glad you've survived yet another turn around the sun. Alan does very well for someone who is sober. This song is grammatically incorrect. You're grammatically incorrect. You're very welcome, Mary. Thank you so much. I'm glad you guys could indulge me. I mean, I used to be a jazz musician before I was a podcaster, so don't everybody act totally fucking surprised. Bunch of assholes, anyway. All right, so anyway, you're welcome, Mary. So, and my kids were quiet the whole time. Yeah, it's because they were stunned in disbelief at how terrible that angry old man on the phone sounds. That's why. It was okay. Well, thank you, Aaron. So anyway, yeah, on that note, we're going to, well, I was going to bring in Ryan, but it doesn't say Ryan's online anymore. I think Ryan gave up. Chris just said that was some good singing. Well, good. I mean, he's going to hear a lot of it when we write our entire play and musical that we're going to be performing June 4th. All of us together. Oh, Ryan, you're still here? Well, it's telling me on Skype that you're not online. So, I don't know, man. We'll have to see. Uh-oh. There he is. All right, we're adding Ryan Cam to the scene, ladies and gentlemen. Let's bring this up here. We will call this Ryan Cam. And there he is. Hey, man. How's it going, buddy?
Not too bad. How are you?
I'm good. You gotta. You're in portrait mode. Why are you in portrait?
Should I change it?
Yeah, you should change it to landscape.
Better.
There you go. Yeah, it's a lot better.
Okay.
Here, we're gonna.
Why is my background all blurry?
I don't know. Why is your background all blurry?
Like some auto zoom bullshit or something. That's.
I don't know. See,
I don't know. I don't know work stuff.
That's fine. I have a guy for that, but he took the night off because he's a puss.
Oh.
Yeah.
He's got to put his babies to bed or something because he's whipped.
Yeah. I know, right? He's doing women's work because, he's practically Will Smith between you and me. But
yeah.
But don't tell him I said so. We did just get a donation, by the way, $25 from Carl Huber, who says, so you stop whining. You know what? If whining gets me 20 increments of $25, then me and Ryan are going to sit here and just cry our fucking eyes out. What do you think, Ryan?
I'll cry for $5.
Yeah, fuck it. There you go.
Mhm. Let me
All
think of
right.
something really sad. Um,
Just think of me.
uh, it's not
Right?
funny.
You're more
I'm done
disgusted than
crying.
sad.
Yeah, I'm done crying over you, Alan.
Oh, okay. Well, fair enough.
Oh, I'll cry for Dave.
Yeah, somebody should be crying for Dave.
Hey, your song was really good, by the way.
Oh, thank you, man.
I didn't know
I
you,
really appreciate it.
I didn't know
I
you could
feel
actually sing.
do what?
I didn't know you could actually sing.
Yeah, I was a jazz musician before I was a podcast host.
Yeah, I did know that, but I didn't actually. I never heard you sing, so it
Yeah.
was very Frank Sinatra-ish.
Yeah, well, the thing is that when I was younger, I was like doing the pop rock thing, and when I was in college, I was playing some mixture of like Hootie and the Blowfish and John Mayer, and
Hmm.
then like
Hey, John
classic
Mayer.
rock.
I like John
Yeah,
Mayer.
I still know a bunch of John Mayer songs. But the thing is that that's like what everybody was doing. I mean, you couldn't throw a rock and not hit another kid trying to play music at some dive bar somewhere, right?
Hmm.
And so what I did was I got into jazz because I had a professor at Maryville College who was a jazz pianist, and he really got me into jazz. And ever since, and he had told me that the thing was is that there's not a ton of opportunities for like jazz standards around town, but there's also very very few people out there in that market
Hmm.
like to compete against. And so, do you want to do a style of music where there's like 20 venues that'll have you, but there's a 100,000 people trying to book those 20 venues? Or do you want to do jazz where there's like three venues that'll book you, but there's only like six jazz musicians in the whole town?
Hmm.
And so
Yeah.
that's what I did. I did it based, I mean, I do enjoy it, but also based on market reasons. And I basically haven't done anything else since then.
Well, you got to create a market for yourself.
Yeah, well, that's why I started doing a podcast because I'm a fucking idiot.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, you didn't take your own advice to never start a podcast.
Yeah, right. Um, so fact check this says, have you watched Whiplash? No. I don't know what that is. Is that a show or a movie? I don't know.
I don't know.
Aaron says that's the same reason I was in a blues band. So, like, as it pertains to June 4th, if I was going to have a band come out and play, I would want them to both come out and play just for the audience, but I would also want them to be the house band for our live taping of It's Too Late.
Hmm.
And if it were up to me, it would be something more akin to a blues or a jazz band. Like,
Hmm.
because I mean, that's my personal preference, but I mean, there's a reason why, like, every late night show, every wedding you ever go to, whatever, there's a reason why they play that kind of music because it's timeless, like everybody likes that kind of music, and it'll be, Taylor Swift will not be around for in 100 years from now, but jazz will be, I promise you.
I would cover some Taylor Swift songs, like early Taylor Swift. That was the
Yeah,
good years. Yeah.
yeah, like
Speaking of the
create.
live, speaking of the live event, I asked off of work today for it.
Oh yeah, and they
So,
told you to go to hell.
yeah, they told me to fuck myself, but
Oh,
I'll
okay.
just call in gay or something.
Well, you have a hell of a workplace then, if that's a reasonable excuse.
Hmm. Yeah.
Okay, now I know what you're talking about. It's Whiplash. It's a movie about a jazz drummer. So I have not seen it, but I know what movie you're talking about. Um, so yeah, Ryan, who's a guest you think we ought to have on the show?
Um. So did you, uh, um, like Jack Lloyd and like um, what's his wife's name? I thought maybe either you or Dave and Mary could get those people on.
I think that they would be a good couple to have as a guest on
Hmm.
Liberty Late Night because then there'll be a couple and another couple, and they can talk about life
Oh,
and stuff. Yeah,
yeah.
yeah, something along those lines. I don't know.
Yeah. I
Or
mean, I comment on his shit sometimes, and I don't know. He laugh
Mhm.
reacts some stuff, so
Yeah,
I
well
kind of
then,
feel like maybe.
yeah,
Yeah.
so you're practically best friends
Yeah,
then.
we're practically best friends. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, that's good. That's nice.
Hmm.
Um, yeah, I don't know. I mean, I'm trying to I'm aiming a tad bit higher overall for my guests. So I'm still chasing. I'm not going to say who it is because if you ever name a prospective guest, then you never get them. That's like it always happens. Or if you have a guest scheduled and then you tell everybody in advance they're going to be here and then it
Hmm.
falls through and then you're like, oops, my bad.
And then
I'm
everybody unsubscribes because you're a liar.
Yeah, everybody gets all pissed off. Yeah. I mean, it's funny. I specifically remember when we booked Ron Paul. I specifically had said to Blake at the time, "Hey, let's not talk about it. Let's not share it with anybody until the recording is like until we've
Hmm.
already
So it's in
taped
the
it
bag.
and
Hmm.
and we've already listened back to it and we're 100% satisfied on the off chance that something goes wrong." And sure enough, that's what we did. Like after the afternoon of after we had already taped it in the whole 9 yards and like took some pictures and like promo type stuff, then
Hmm.
we told people, "Hey, Ron Paul's going to be on the show like in a couple weeks or whatever."
It's like
Uh,
you never trust promises of money until you actually have it in your hand.
yeah, exactly right. How about Jeff Baxter? Who's Jeff Baxter? Please Comma says it's Alex Jones. Yes, Alex Jones is coming on. It's too late, you guys. You nailed it. Actually, you know what? I think Alex Jones would be a great guest to have on It's Too
Oh,
Late, but
hell
I've
yeah.
I've never I've never like tried to contact Alex Jones, so I apologize.
It would be
But I
impossible.
mean, but just for the format that we have, I think he'd be a cool guest to have.
Hmm.
Um,
You could
I
ask him what
mean,
his favorite color is.
yeah, I'm good. Yeah, ask him what his favorite color is. Ask him if cereal is soup.
Hmm.
Um, yeah,
Yeah.
dude, we'll trot them all out for Alex Jones.
I mean, I think he's
Um,
got a sense of humor. I think he would be into it, but
yeah,
he probably thinks you're FBI or something.
yeah. Well, I mean, he thinks everybody is, so.
Yeah.
Yeah, he actually thinks I'm some sort of advanced AI.
I mean, it's probably true.
Yeah. Well, I mean, Anyway, um, Alex Jones would be amazing. Ask him the lasagna question. So our guest for tomorrow, I asked her, are nachos a salad? And you'll have to tune in Wednesday night at 9 o'clock Eastern time to get the answer.
My answer to that would be if there's like lettuce and tomatoes and black olives and stuff like that on it. But
Mm-hmm.
if it's just cheese, then no.
Well, you'll just have to wait to find out.
Hmm. I guess
Yeah.
so.
20
I
minute shoot the shit unserious interview would be hilarious for someone who denied interviews over the years. Yeah, I I agree. Uh, okay. We're getting some weird random suggestions in chat for guests and stuff. So okay, so there's one guest that I'm still chasing that I have made contact with. I actually made contact with their management and then was then forwarded to them and they expressed they did not say no. They said that their schedule is X and then to follow up with them on Y date.
hmm
That's somebody who's way up there in the stratosphere that I can't say who it is. All I can say is that they were a cast member on the TV show Star Trek Deep Space Nine.
No way.
Yeah.
It's not. It's not Garrick, is it?
No, I'm not. I can't tell you. I can't say who it's gonna because if I tell you, then it won't happen.
Mm-hmm.
It
Mm-hmm.
won't happen. Because
That's what I'm hoping. That was the
like
best Deep Space Nine character by far.
I mean, well, Deep Space Nine was the best Star Trek by far.
Oh,
That's why.
absolutely.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. It's not even up for debate at this point, folks. It just is what it is.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so I can't tell you who it is, but they were a cast member on that show, and I mean like they were a regular cast member, not some random person who appeared as a guest star or whatever. Um,
I'm saying
but
Garrick
yeah,
for sure.
well, the thing is too, though, again, so like, let's say
Uh-oh.
hypothetically, let's say hypothetically they were available for interviews later this summer. that's still a long time between now and then for either them or their manager or somebody to be like, let me check this guy out, and to watch like some random episode of ours where we're talking about retarded dick rippers, and then boom, it's over. They ain't coming. They ain't
He's
coming
never
on the
coming
show.
on. Yeah, he's never coming on.
So that has not happened yet, which frankly I'm shocked.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why we're just gonna.
Like, so you didn't get the email. Thank you for your interest.
Yeah, no, I did not get that email. The first email I got is this is interesting. I'm going to forward it on to this person. And then I got another email back saying this person expressed interest in the interview. They're traveling during these dates. They're going to be back at this date. And I was like, okay, all right.
The email, thank you for your interest, but no. And not only no, but fuck no.
Yeah, exactly. You know what the funny thing is though, like in all seriousness, is so first of all, when you've already had like Ron Paul on the show, then I don't take shit from anybody. It's like if you think you're too good to appear on the show because you're someone who has a podcast with like, 2,000 downloads, but Ron Paul wasn't too good to be on the show, then it's like I don't have any time for you. You're stuck up piece of shit. And to be fair, like when I'm reaching out to new people who have never been on the show before, I have a very warm, very considerate email that I send. And in that email, it has links to a few of our prior segments and episodes. And of course, I'm not an idiot. I don't link them to something that is like, obscene and grotesque. I link them to like when Ron Paul was on, or when Tom Woods was on, or when Michael Bolton was on, so they can see maybe somebody that they know was on the show, and it's kind of like a friend of my friend sort of thing,
Which character was Will Wheaton, Aaron?
Will Wheaton was on Next Generation. That was the shithead little kid.
Yeah, well, that's what I thought.
Yeah.
Wesley Crusher.
Yeah,
that was
Wesley Crusher. Yeah,
that was one of the worst characters ever.
Yeah, exactly. Is it Aaron Eisenberg? I don't think so, because I'm pretty sure he's dead. If I'm thinking of the same person. Interview the Grand Nagus. It's not the actor that played the Grand Nagus, but the Grand Nagus was dope.
Yeah, he was dope.
They're all. The show was fucking great, dude. Like it's not that I think Next Generation was bad. I certainly don't think Next Generation was bad. Although people who are hardcore fans of Next Generation, they have their rosy colored glasses on and they're just ignoring that like the first season or two is like yikes. Mm-hmm. Like there was a period of time there where you could tell the whole studio that was doing Next Generation, like they didn't quite have their shit together. They didn't quite know what to do with some of the characters, some of the effects and stuff. Like the effects are bad because it's like the late 80s, early 90s, and they had a limited budget on top of that. But they were bad. They don't stand up to time at all.
No.
And Deep Space Nine, I understand, also benefits from having come after. So some of the mistakes that Next Generation made, they did a better job on Deep Space Nine. But with that said, I think Deep Space Nine had way better story arcs, character arcs. I think it had just better characters in general. And of course, I mean, obviously the Dominion War is fucking dope.
Yeah, that's why it's the best.
Yeah, the whole thing about Deep Space Nine, like it wasn't a mistake that they made it the way they made it. They intended that show to be a huge departure from everything that everyone knew about Star Trek. Like the original series, Next Generation, even Voyager for that matter, and other shows later, they're all on a ship that's going different places each week, but with the same crew on the ship. It's always riding really hard on that whole Federation, make peace not war, or make love not war, and Prime Directive, and it's frankly they're all way more like socialist, to be totally frank. But then the Next Generation is very dark, and it has a lot of war in it, and it talks about like, okay, well here's your pretty little utopia. Now what are you gonna do when you get punched in the mouth?
Yeah. You're talking about Deep Space Nine.
Yeah, talking about Deep Space Nine, yeah. So Deep Space Nine is amazing. Please Comment says, have you watched the Deep Space Nine documentary that came out? Yes, I have. I have watched that documentary. And it was It was awesome. The documentary was really cool. Deep Space Nine has terrorists, so it's based. Yes,
Mm-hmm.
that's right. You know, actually, it's funny that you mentioned that. I don't know how this randomly became an episode where we're going to talk about Deep Space Nine, but you want to know what one of my favorite, just small, nuanced details about Deep Space Nine is? So the Bajorans, which the station is near Bajor, they're kind of at the center of a lot of the shit that goes on.
Mm-hmm.
The whole point of the early seasons was they were grooming Bajor to join the Federation. And at the end of the show, Bajor declines. They
Yeah.
decide not to join the Federation. And I
Right,
thought that
because
was great.
Yeah. They want to do their own thing. I mean, they're occupied by the Cardassians for the longest time and fought that war, so.
Aaron says, "Does Mary like Star Trek?" Well, I sure fucking hope so, because because Mary's birthday / Deep Space Nine appreciation episode is this week. But I mean, well, you look at the Bajorans. So the Bajorans, yeah, they were occupied for all those years, and they committed a whole bunch of terrorist acts. Because what's a terrorist? A terrorist is just the person you don't like who
Yeah.
does bombings, as opposed to the person you do like.
One person's terrorist is another person's freedom fighter.
Yeah, exactly.
Mhm.
And they kind of they talk. There's a few episodes where they talk about that, where Kira, she did some fucked up shit.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Because they were trying to win the war.
Mhm.
That's all there is to it. So that you don't get that shit in Next Generation.
Mhm.
You know, and I love the character Captain Picard on the Next Generation and all the great monologues he delivered and stuff. But that guy does not fit in Deep Space Nine.
No, and actually, Benjamin Sisko was kind of one of my least favorite characters. I don't know. This whole thing with the prophets and
Why are
just,
you a racist? That's racist.
just the way he talked and everything, it got old for me. He wasn't my favorite.
See, I actually really like Benjamin Sisko a lot.
Mhm.
As it pertains to Sisko, so one of the most iconic episodes of Deep Space Nine was called "In the Pale Moonlight."
Oh yeah, one of the best
And-
episodes of
yeah,
all Star Trek. Yeah.
Yeah, of all Star Trek. It's In the Pale
Mhm.
Moonlight, and that's
Yeah.
the episode for people that don't know. The Dominion War has already started, and it's not going so great, and they're trying to get the entire Alpha Quadrant to fight against the
Mhm.
Dominion, and
Yep,
the
the
Romulans
Romulans.
have
Yep.
not joined the war.
So then
Uh,
Garrick.
Yeah, so the Garrick being a boss.
Hmm.
Oh, I thought you were gonna explain.
yeah.
It.
So Garrick assassinates that Romulan senator or whatever and pins it
Yeah.
on the Dominion. So then the Romulans join.
Yeah. Well, see, because it was
Cisco punches him in his suit shop or in his dress shop or whatever.
Yeah, so the whole thing is that Sisko wanted to get the Romulans in the war on the side of the Federation and the Klingons, but they were refusing to. So they orchestrated to bring out a Romulan diplomat who was going to talk to Sisko about the war. And Sisko and he came out to DS9, and Sisko gave him his pitch, but he still said no. And so then they were going to fake some evidence to show that the Dominion was going to invade Romulus. But the Romulans are not retarded. They knew it was fake. And then once it was found out it was fake, he was going to get on his ship and go back to Romulus to say, hey, guys, they're giving us fake news and they're trying to get us to go to war. So Benjamin Sisko was being Colin Powell, right? With his little vial.
Mhm,
But
mhm.
then the Romulan ship explodes with the diplomat on it, and you come to find out that Garrick basically had a plan B, which was if this guy doesn't agree to go to war, we'll just kill him. Yeah.
Because I
that's
think Garrick knew that it wasn't going to work. So
yes.
Yeah.
Garrick assumed it wasn't going to work, and so him doing hardcore shit, he blows up and then Sisko gets mad, but Garrick's like, but this is what you wanted.
Yep.
Like you deep down, you knew what this was. Like he knows who Garrick is. Garrick's not a nice man.
No.
And he enlisted Garrick's help knowing who he is. So it's kind of like that you're complicit in this. Like,
Yeah,
you did this.
Right.
And then the whole end of the episode of because this whole episode is Cisco relaying this message to his journal, to his log, and at the end he's like, can I live with it?
Yeah.
And then he
And I
and then
and
he
I think
erases
and
the
I
log.
think and I think Garrick through the whole series, or at least the Dominion War, I think he was kind of playing both sides against the middle.
Well, and then of course, so again, like just that whole thing of Cisco doing it and then deciding to swallow it and just live with it because they got what they needed. They got another ally in the war. See,
Right.
that's exactly the kind of thing that if it were like Picard or Riker or somebody, they'd have been like, "We can't do this. We have to tell the truth."
Yeah, yeah.
Because they're fucking
He's
cucks
super gay
anyway.
about it.
Yeah, they'd be soup. Yeah, they'd get Wesley Crusher to go to Earth and
Get that pussy ass to go tattle on Garrick to the Romulans, and then the Romulans would assassinate Garrick.
yeah, exactly. So, dude, Garrick was such a beast.
He was a beast.
Yeah. Garrick was fantastic. Uh, of
Gul
course,
Dukat.
yeah,
Gul
Gold
Dukat.
Dukat is a great
Yeah, he
a
was
great
awesome.
antagonist. Of course,
Yeah.
obviously Quark. Quark is an awesome. I mean, because that was another thing too. Remember, is that so the next generation was when they invented Ferengi, but they wanted the Ferengi to be the new bad guys, like before the Borg, and they
Yeah.
were they were just fucking terrible. Like they were
Yeah, they
they
were
were
terrible. Yeah,
they were just yeah
dumb. Yeah.
yeah the
You know
evil
what? You know what's
space
fucked up
Jews.
about what was fucked up about Garrick though was Gul Dukat's daughter. How he was like courting Gul Dukat's daughter, and she's like 17. And Gul
Well,
Dukat,
I don't know if that was necessarily a romantic thing, if
mm,
as much as it was just a camaraderie thing of another Cardassian that didn't hate his guts.
I don't know.
Because what's most likely the case, and this is a whole other conversation, is that Garrick is gay. I mean, because Garrick was interested in the Doctor Bashir. I mean, he could be
Oh, he just
bi.
had luck that no, because the doctor is like one of his only friends.
Well, yeah, but he was attracted to the Doctor.
I don't
That's what I'm
get.
saying.
I never got that impression.
So the actor who plays Garrick says that was the intent of the script, is that but this is the reason I bring that up is not to even because I mean it's not even a debate. Garrick was at the minimum bi, at most he was gay. But the point being is that this, so back in like the mid to late 90s, they had a character on Star Trek that was gay. But was it uber woke shit that they shoved down your throat, or was it
Yeah,
just he was just a character?
right, right.
Yeah.
Right.
Because it wasn't even an important part of his character.
Mm-hmm. No, no, it wasn't like a focal point of the show or even his character.
Yeah. Liberty Late Night says, "You people and your Gilmore Girls." Fuck you, Dave. We ain't talking
Dave.
about we ain't talking about no Gilmore Girls on this show.
Hold on, I gotta
Fucking
get my charger.
All right. Uh, yeah, Please Comment says, "I got the impression Garrick was in the closet." Yeah, so Garrick, the character Garrick was probably gay and attracted to Dr. Bashir. That's why he struck up a friendship with him. But I mean, obviously it was just a friendship. Uh, so yeah. The only reason I say that is I don't think he was being a hardcore creeper to Gul Dukat's daughter, who was, yes, very young.
Is that what you just want to believe, Alan, or is that what you really believe?
I mean, no, it's what I believe. It really is.
Because I think he was courting her.
All right. Well, there you are then. So look at that. So for a show, you've got interesting characters. You've got, morally gray ambiguity. You've got lesbian kisses. You've got a war.
Mm-hmm.
You've got terrorists, and you've got false flags. Like
Mhm.
it's. Tell me that's not the best Star Trek.
Mm-hmm. So the biggest crush that I had on any of the women on Star Trek was Ezri Dax. She's
Ezri
so
Dax,
cute. Yeah,
the
she's so
new
cute.
Dax.
Yeah, the new Dax. Yeah, she
Yeah.
was. Well, and of course Kira. Everybody loves Kira.
Does everybody love Kira?
I don't know. I do.
All right. Well, I'm glad somebody does, and it's you. You
Yeah.
love Kira. That's nice.
Well,
I thought most people liked Jadzia Dax.
yeah. See, I never was really too attracted to her for some reason. Esri, though, yeah.
Hmm. That's as a totally random side note. So the Doctor wanted to get with Jadzia Dax, and he was never able to, and she wound up getting with Worf. But then
Mm-hmm.
when she died, Esri got the symbiote, so she's Esri Dax, and Esri Dax ended up getting with Doctor Bashir.
Mm-hmm.
But Doctor Bashir just really wanted to tickle that symbiote,
Yeah.
and he
Mm-hmm.
finally got to. God bless him.
These are the days of our lives.
Best show, best Star Trek. Just,
For the
that's
live
what they.
event, we're just going to talk about Star Trek the whole time.
Yeah, this is that's what they call it. By the way, is
Mhm.
tickling the symbiote. That's what they call
Oh,
it.
oh,
Yeah,
I'll
yeah.
tickle that. I'll tickle that symbiote.
Yeah. This is what we're gonna do for the live show. We are just gonna sit here and talk about Star. We're gonna talk about Deep Space Nine.
Just Deep Space Nine.
Yeah, I'm gonna put together a power.
Mostly about Garrick.
Yeah, I'm gonna put together a presentation and gonna have on the big screen, and we'll go scene by scene of my favorite parts of Deep Space
Mhm.
Nine. That's what we're gonna. That's it.
Every single episode, scene by scene, and we're going to pause it and discuss every scene.
Yeah, that's it. That's it. We've made a plan. This is what we're doing June 4th, ladies and gentlemen.
Mhm.
It's the Star Trek Deep Space Nine
Yeah.
symposium,
And
led
then
by
when-
yours.
Yeah, and then in our play, we're going to reenact our favorite scenes.
Oh, dude, that's it. The play is we're gonna do a theatrical representation of The Visitor, season 4, episode 2, of Star Trek Deep Space Nine.
Who is
That's
the Visitor?
The Visitor is actually my favorite episode of any Star Trek and one of my favorite episodes of any TV show. It's the one. It's a one-off where Captain Sisko is killed, but he's not actually dead. He's like sent to another dimension, and
I don't know.
you see. So Jake grows up like the real world goes ahead like 50 years, and Jake is constantly trying to rescue his dad, thinking there's a way to save him. And then at the end of the episode, you have an old man Jake, and young, original Captain Sisko. It's a very powerful episode. It seriously is. One of the best episodes. So that episode, believe it or not, was actually nominated for an Emmy Award that year, back in the 90s. Was that the Visitor from Star Trek Deep Space Nine, like up against the Sopranos and whatever was that episode of Deep Space Nine, for real.
Mhm.
Yeah.
My favorite episode was like the big battle with the Romulans and the Klingons and the Federation.
Yeah, and you talking about when they were fighting the Dominion?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's towards the end
Yeah.
of the season, or towards the end of the series. I forget what it's.
The Jem'Hadar.
Yeah, the Jem'Hadar.
Yeah, the Jem'Hadar are pretty hardcore.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Yeah, they're a bunch of drug addicts. Oh no, that was.
they are a bunch of drug addicts. That's So Nightmare says you guys put on a Star Trek play. I don't know what you mean by you guys. If you'll see right here, it clearly says on the advertisement, the 4th annual It's Too Late live show hosted by Alan Mosley and Dave and Mary of Liberty Late Night at the private Bon Aqua Computer Club. So that means Mary, you're going to be a part of it, right?
I feel like it looks like I have breasts on here.
Oh, that's nice.
Mm-hmm.
Putting on a little, or if like we're in some sort of weird arrangement where every pound I lose, you gain.
Oh man.
Yeah, you're fucked, buddy. That's all right.
Yeah, and it all goes right to my boobs. So
Yeah, it all goes to your chesticles.
yeah, Alan is
Yeah.
turning me into a transgender. First, he gets me banned from Twitter.
Yep. Okay, so first of all, I didn't do anything. It wasn't me.
So how does that happen? I mean, I just literally repeated what you said, and I got banned permanently.
Well, because obviously they don't have their AI that combs for that shit. Obviously, doesn't comb every second of audio data. It only combs text, so you can't type out what you hear. So we can say on the show, fuck retarded Jew trannies, but you
Yeah.
can't. You don't want to type that out.
Oh, I see.
That's bad news right
Mhm.
there. Yeah.
Well, I guess it's too late. Well, now Elon Musk has got a 10% stake in Twitter, so maybe now if I write him a really nice letter, maybe he'll reinstate me.
That is true. See, I don't think anything's going to come of that. Everyone got all excited this morning because they saw, oh, Elon Musk is bought whatever like 9.2% of
Hmm.
of Twitter, so he's the plurality stakeholder or whatever. Um, that's not nothing. I don't think anything's going to come of that. At this point, I think that dude literally just plays with billions of dollars.
Hmm. Yeah.
Um,
He does it. He does it just to make news and fuck with
yeah,
people.
yeah, exactly.
Mhm.
Boy, I wish I had literally billions of dollars to just piss
Unlimited,
away for a
yeah,
joke.
unlimited money. Just yeah.
Yeah, you
Like,
have
oh,
a you,
like Twitter bans you, and they're like, okay, well, I'm just going to buy 10% of the company.
yeah, you want to make a really elaborate meme, so you spend $18 billion. Yeah, there's a lot of things I could make for that kind of money.
Yeah.
Um, well, we've been on for over an hour. It's 9/11 right now.
Hmm.
So
9/11. That was a good
yeah.
day.
So we got our two. That was a good. So we got our two. I went to school. I went to high school with a girl who that was her birthday, and all right. So anyway, we got one donation thanks to Carl. We got two uh, Twitch subs. If we don't get any more in the next, I don't know, 5 minutes or so, I think we're gonna have to call it a night.
Mm.
But you know what? I hope, Mary, I hope you actually had a good birthday. I hope beyond us acting retarded that your actual birthday was a pleasant one.
Mhm.
Um,
Did Mary? Did you get the Thai food?
oh yeah, did you go to the Thai place? We'll have to find out. Um,
Did Dave get the King Dick or whatever it was?
the Prick King.
Prick King, yeah, that's what it
Yeah,
was.
yeah.
Prick King.
I like
King.
how you translated that to King Dick. Yeah. Mary says yes, she did. Well, that's very good. Very good then. I know that the highlight of it was us singing you a song, but you know.
Hmm.
Yes, he made me order the 3 Prick King for him. Oh, it's
Oh,
not good enough for to have one. He had to have three.
yeah, he's got to have the three,
Yeah,
three
fat
Prick
fuck.
Kings.
Jesus
You
Christ.
fat Can I
This
get
guy,
can I get three of your Prick Kings, please?
this
Ugh.
guy. Listen, this guy thinks this is actually what Dave thinks. Dave thinks that if you go on a diet and only eat certain foods, that you'll lose weight. But then he eats 3 times as much of those foods, and he thinks that's okay. Yeah,
Wow, spicy level 4.
spice
Why
level
why
4.
why is spice the only thing you can taste with your asshole?
We've had some interesting questions the last few weeks. Speaking of that, I'm glad you brought that up, Ryan. So our viewer mail post right now is looking pretty sad.
Oh, do you need me to put some more questions in there?
No, it's only one question per person. What we need everyone to actually go to the community page and put questions on the viewer mail post because we still have people this is amazing. We still have people that don't get that. I looked at this. There is no viewer mail post I looked this weekend. Okay, so first of all, if you looked this weekend far enough back, you would have seen last week's viewer mail post. And second of all, the new viewer mail post comes out every single Monday. So a new viewer mail post comes out every single Monday. This Monday at 11 o'clock Central Time, I know because I scheduled it that way, was a new viewer mail post. And there's only like 4 people who have asked a question. Because, let me finish, the people don't understand is that Facebook hates us. We are going to be permanently shadow banned on Facebook. You can't just be scrolling through your feed and wait to see It's Too Late with Alan Mosley. That will never, ever, ever happen. You have
No.
to go to the page.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yep.
See, Ryan knows.
Yeah, every Monday I have to go there. I have to go to It's Too Late community page.
Yeah, and Mary's right. I've told Mary that one of my personal favorite parts of each show is when she leaves a question because, of course, our producer Dave is her husband. So instead of saying Mary Lynn Miloski, right, dear Alan and Dave, I say dear Alan and Dave. Because her asking a question in viewer mail is actually her passive aggressive way of sending messages to Dave. But Mary, because she likes to keep me on my toes, she waits until about 15 minutes before the show starts to actually.
She does too. Yeah.
Yeah, I know. She's almost at the very bottom every single time. It's the same.
I asked my question, Dave.
Yeah. And it's also the same thing as these fucking tickets for the live event. The live event is 2 months from now, June 4th. This is the libertarian event of the year. Everybody else who said that, they were faggots. This is the actual libertarian event of the year happening south of Nashville, Middle Tennessee. We're going to have such awesome food, awesome desserts, a dessert bar. We're going to have live entertainment, music, and a taping of the show. And you're going to get to spend all weekend hanging out with some of the coolest fucking people in the world. The reason I bring all that up is that the same thing happens. This is the 4th year we've done it. The exact same thing happens every single year. Like 70% of the people who end up attending don't buy their ticket until like the week of. That makes it so fucking hard on me to plan for how big of a crowd we're going to have when the crowd quintuples in the last 6 days after like I've already been like, ordering food and preparing things and stuff. And then we have a bunch of people buying their tickets. That low key kind of pisses me off a little bit. I'm not going to lie. Even if it was a situation where, out of 100% of the people who buy tickets, like some people bought them when the page went up, like in January. Then some people bought them in February. Then some people buy them in March. Then some people buy them in April. And then some people buy them in May. Then it wouldn't be so bad. But that's not how it happens. Some people buy them the first few months, but it's only like a quarter of the entire attendance. 3/4 of the entire attendance will buy it the last week of May. It's going to happen. Write it down.
Somebody's going to have to pick me up at the airport in Nashville.
Well, there's going to be a crap ton of people here, so there ought to be somebody that can. I mean, I say that because I'm not going to. That's
okay.
That's ridiculous. No one ever thought I was going to, but somebody absolutely, yeah. Somebody absolutely. Well, you're going to have to have a ride because you're going to have to be able to get to Ponchos and.
Well, see, my original plan was to rent a car in Nashville, but I got a drunk driving ticket, so I lost my license. So I'm not going to be driving around Tennessee without a license.
Oh, you picked up a Dewey?
Yeah, I did. It was my first, actually.
Ryan, come on now.
Mm-hmm. It was so dumb how I got it too. I just pulled away, and I wasn't even that drunk. That's what they all say. Oh, I wasn't even that drunk, but I pulled away with my lights off, and there's a cop right behind me, parked right behind me when I pulled away.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Pulled me over instantly because I pulled out of the bar, which is actually illegal in Wisconsin. Cops can't park right in front of the bar. Mm-hmm. They have to park like a block away. Otherwise, it's entrapment. But he was parked right behind me in the bar parking lot. So I don't know.
Well, obviously he can because he did.
Yeah, he did. Well, they do what they want.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, okay. So when you started that off by saying I got it in the stupidest way, I thought you were gonna say so I pulled out of the parking lot and hit a cop. Like I thought that's what you were gonna say.
I wish I would have. It would have been worth it at least.
Yeah. All right. Well. Nightmare says, "Can you fight that?" And Please Comment says, "With fists?" ? Yes. Ryan's gonna go down to the precinct, and if he can win a duel against the police officer, then they drop.
Okay, so actually, to answer Mary's question, what's fucked up about it is all I got was a $980 ticket, and it was like a no mandatory court appearance. I don't have to go through the classes. I don't have to do the ignition interlock thing. All I had to do was pay $980. And then I got my occupational license so I can drive to work just like certain times. And then my license is suspended for 6 months. And that's all that happened to me.
Wow.
Yeah. And I think that's because And it was funny too when I got pulled over. Cops like, "You've been drinking tonight?" I'm like, "Yeah." He's like, will you submit to a field sobriety test?" And I'm like in the middle of traffic, and it's just solid traffic, like downtown Green Bay. And I'm like, "No." He's like, "Will you submit to a breathalyzer?" I'm like, "No." So then he's like, "Okay, take the keys out of the ignition and put them on the top of the car." So I took the keys out, flopped them on top of the car, threw me in the, clicked me up and threw me in the back of the cop car, brought me to the hospital. And they're like, "Will you submit to a blood test?" And I'm like, "No." And they're like, "Really?" And they're like, "It's in your best interest to submit to the blood test." So I'm like, "Okay." So then the nurse comes in and just like shoves the needle in my arm, doesn't like put the iodine or sterilize it or anything, doesn't put a Band-Aid on it. So I get blood all over my shirt when I got home. And oh, it was a whole fucking, I hate the government so bad. It's fucking,
Wow.
yeah. So then they're like, "Oh, is there anybody that can come and pick you up?" I'm like, "Yeah, my son can come and pick me up." And they're like, and then the cop gave me her phone to call him. I'm like, "Well, I don't have his number memorized. I need my phone." She's like, like it was a big fucking deal to give me my phone back. So then I called him, and he was there in like 20 minutes, picked me up.
Police comment wants to know, what would they have done if you didn't submit to the blood test?
So if you don't submit to the blood test, there's like a separate criminal charge for that. And I don't know, but it's a lot worse. It's double the fine, or it's like a separate. So I would have had another criminal charge on top of the DUI. So you can refuse, but it's like a separate criminal charge, and it costs you more money.
Huh.
Yeah, that's Wisconsin laws. I'm sure it's different in every state.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, somebody has to pick Ryan up from the airport and take him to Poncho's.
Mm-hmm.
That's
And that's what's really, that's super gay, and that's like, actually, I thought about that like not too long after I got it and everything. I'm like, shit. Now I'm not going to be able to rent a car at the airport in Nashville to fucking drive down there. If I go to this thing, which I'm like 90%, it's
Wait, hold on. What was that last part?
no, I thought after I got it, I'm like, shit. Now I'm not going to be able to rent a car at the Nashville airport to drive down to Columbia.
Yeah. Uh-huh. Yeah.
That's gay.
Okay. All right. Yeah. Dave says it'll probably be us.
Well, thanks in advance, Dave. Or
Yeah.
just Dave, and Mary and the kids can stay in Columbus, and Dave will come and get my ass. Just
Now,
like he
yeah.
did me. Yeah, just like he did me, or he'd come and get my ass.
Yeah. Well, actually, I'm pretty sure it's going to be Mary and the kids that pick you up from the airport, because I'm pretty sure Dave's not coming.
No, Dave will be shit face wasted by that time.
Oh, great. So we're going to have another Dewey. Fan-fucking-tastic. All right. Well, speaking of that, before we
Yeah.
wrap up here,
Yeah, we'll watch. I'll watch the SpongeBob and you drive.
so we're gonna have to decide what day or night that the annual supporters poncho summit is going to be. So I mean the easiest answer is that it would be Friday night. The Friday night, which would be the night before the big day that we would have our annual poncho summit. But it doesn't necessarily have to be that. But I'm just saying, like, it's not going to be Saturday. It would have to either be like the day before or the day after, and it has to either be lunch or dinner. So, I would recommend the night before would be the annual Poncho Summit. So it just kind of depends on who all's going to be here and when they're getting into town. But we only have 2 months, and I have to spend a lot of that 2 months at like getting shit together for the actual day of. So I'm kind of hoping that some other people that are coming, get together and make a little powwow and decide when we're going to be doing all these extracurriculars. Obviously, Saturday is the big day. So Friday night we could do ponchos, and then Sunday we could go to Waffle House, as Mary suggested right there.
Yeah, that sounds like a plan.
Yeah, we can do that. So basically what's going to happen is me and Dave are both going to lose like 40 pounds show up to the show, and then eat ponchos, then go to the event and eat pudding and pork all day, and then do a show, and then the next day get up and go eat waffles, and we will have regained 38 of those pounds in 3 days.
But yeah. I mean, it's a net zero, so it works out.
Yeah, that's it. That's the plan. Well, we're gonna slap on the jazz here. I haven't been sharing with Ryan, so he couldn't hear it, but you should hear the jazz music now.
Oh, now I hear it. Yeah, now I hear it.
If you know the drill, if the song ends without us getting another donation, subscriber, whatever, then we sign off for the evening. If we get one, then we'll keep it going a little bit longer. Please Comma asks, what's the new emote? So we actually have an open emote slot right now from when we got 20 subs. We have to come up with another emote. I'm leaning towards it being a little Asian kid, because it's euthanasia, you know?
Oh man, that's so mean.
Well, okay, the whole point, like, good channels, good Twitch channels are the ones where the emotes they make, they're not just there to take up space, they're relevant to their own, show or whatever. And we already have Dick Shitter, we already have Problematic and Personable. Of course, we've got Technical Difficulties, we've got It's Too Late. So
we got Okay Faggot.
So we need, we already have Okay Faggot. So we need euthanasia.com. But of course, an emote's only teeny tiny. So I thought, how can we emote euthanasia.com? So it's probably going to be a little Asian kid.
Yeah, that's a good idea. That's so mean.
Yeah.
But my idea was the Futurama suicide booth.
Yeah, that's not bad, but it's just, it only takes up so much little space. So it's probably just going to be a little Asian kid's head.
Yeah, and it's not problematic enough.
Yeah. Like those little Asian kids where they have the little bowl cuts, their little round black hair, That's what it's going to be. It's going to be a little Asian kid with a bowl cut, and that's going to be euthanasia.
Because the Japanese kids, they like to kill themselves. Well, they do. Japan has the highest suicide rate in the world.
I mean, if you had to live in a pod and work 80 hours a week, you'd kill yourself too.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that's, it is what it is, you know what I'm saying?
If you have to put little cameras and iPhones all day for 16 hours a day, I would jump out the window too. But then, you know what they do? The company puts nets out the window, so then if you jump out, you can't kill yourself. You just land in the net.
Bastards.
Isn't that?
We actually just sold another ticket to the live show.
So that means we have to stay on?
No, that doesn't count. I didn't. Tickets to the live show doesn't count. Everyone should be getting their tickets between now and June 4th anyway. No, we're only counting Patreon subs, which we desperately need. Although Odyssey is getting ready to launch their own sub service, and when they do, we're going to kill Patreon and just go do it on Odyssey. Or it has to be a direct donation on PayPal or a Twitch sub.
Mail you a money order. Mail you a little chip of gold that I cut off a block with a knife.
Yeah. If you can like Western Union me that before this song ends, we will continue the program. Yeah. Shit's blowing up. Will Odyssey tips count as donations? If it's actual cash, yeah. But see, they're getting ready to have a subscription service like Patreon, where you can just subscribe to a channel at $1 amount at different tiers. So basically, they're just trying to give people a way to eliminate Patreon. Which I know some people don't like Patreon for some of their practices. So if we can do it with Odyssey, we will, 100%. Somebody said something about banana pudding. Banana pudding with Nilla wafers. Yeah, the Nilla wafers are in it, yeah. The little crumbs, yeah.
That actually sounds really good. I saw that on food posting the other day, the vanilla pudding with the vanilla wafers in there, and that looked really good. I'm going to have to make that.
Well, so last year, at episode 150, we had homemade banana pudding made into perfect little serving size bowls to hand out.
Yeah, that's what it was. Yeah, that's what it was banana pudding with the vanilla wafers. Yeah.
Yeah. So the banana pudding is coming back. this year, along with the peanut butter blossom cookies with the little chocolate Hershey Kiss.
Oh, I love those. Those are my favorite.
And we're also going to have yellow cake with chocolate icing.
Yellow cake. Yeah.
And then and then on top of that, it'll be whatever else other people also bring.
So
and then
I really hope Celeste brings a lemon meringue, but I mean that's not going to keep. She would have to like make that there because
yeah,
and like yeah.
We'll figure it out. I mean, I think everyone's waiting to hear what Celeste is bringing to the table. And I think for like the main course, we're probably going to do barbecue. Like we're probably going to have pork and
it's Tennessee. It's Tennessee, so obviously you have to do barbecue.
Yeah. So I mean that's yellow cake with chocolate icing in all caps right there. Yes, correct.
And I'm bringing the coleslaw.
Yeah, you're bringing the coleslaw. I actually told people earlier today in the committee chat that we're getting the pork, we're getting the buns, and we're gonna start the dessert bar ourselves. Outside of that, people can bring whatever they want if they so choose to bring something, but we could use a couple of sides to go along with the barbecue, and then outside of a couple of sides, then we just need more dessert on the dessert bar. The dessert bar has been a smash hit every year we've done it.
Wow.
So
I mean, it's a dessert bar.
Yeah, it's a dessert bar, for God's sake. I mean, the thing is, keep in mind, I charge $10 for a ticket to this damn thing, and some people are like, you charge for tickets? And we're like, dude, you can eat like $100 worth of banana pudding and pork, at this thing. Like, nothing at the event costs money. It's just $10 to get in. The food and drink is free. On top of course, obviously, whatever you bring. The only thing else that's not free there on the grounds is if we have a few vendors that decide to support the event and come out, then I'm not giving away their stuff for free. But the stuff that we're providing is all free to you once you're in the door. So that's a pretty damn good deal for $10.
Yeah, maybe I can have my pipe bomb stand.
Yeah, well, yeah. So there again, I'm not gonna give away those for $10, but
no. I mean, they're for sale. I'm not giving away pipe bombs. It's just a craft. It's just a craft I have. It's like a craft table.
Yeah.
I make pipe bombs for crafts.
Yeah. Exactly. Well, they actually
recreational. So am I just for recreational use only?
Well, they've got, they actually have a clearing out in the woods back behind where we're going to be staging the event. So
you could, yeah, we could.
Well,
anyway,
song's over. Show's over. Ryan, do you have a final thought?
I don't know. Just don't be gay.
Well, I think the issue with that is that the ones that are can't help it. Unless you believe
I don't mean literally gay. I mean like just don't be a shit person.
I mean, I do literally mean it, but
yeah.
But yeah.
Okay.
Happy birthday, Mary. Happy birthday. Glad it was a good one. Dave, if you're still there and you're wondering how come we didn't do all this when it was my birthday, well, nobody gives a shit. All right. Guys, thank you so much. We're going to be back Wednesday night, 9 o'clock Eastern Time, for the latest episode of It's Too Late with Alan Mosley. Our guest this week, Suzanne Sherman, the Red Hot Chili Prepper. It's always a great time. Please be there. Like and subscribe. Support the show. Go to every platform. Give it an upvote. Go to PayPal, type in 99999.99. Give us all your money. I don't think Aaron's here anymore, so I don't even have the links anymore. Aaron, Jesus, like, what am I doing with this guy? All right, anyway.
Alan accepts old Blockbuster gift cards. Anything you got.
Well, okay. Well, Dave was telling me that he had, like, they don't even have a Sears anymore, but he was saying he has an old Sears card. He should take that Sears card and try to just max it out on us. And if it doesn't work, then oh well. If it does work, then call up the Sears people and say that wasn't me. Like, my card's been stolen.
Right. This doesn't even exist anymore.
Yeah, dude. That's a great plan. Like,
it's a good scam.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like it.
All right, guys. Thanks so much. We will see you Wednesday night.